Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out tonight and supporting the Pete Loretto Memorial Race. If you know Pete, why don't you give him a round of applause? And for those of you who did not know Pete, he was an amazing person. He was a dad. He was a husband. He was a friend. He was an uncle. He was a grandpa. He was a lot of things to a lot of people, and he is really, really missed. So to keep his memory alive, we have Melissa Retto, and she has done a phenomenal job over the last few years raising a ton of money to support the local racing. And we love super late model races, and she's raised over $7,000 in prize money to give to these guys. So give it up for Melissa. So just again, on behalf of the Loretto family, we want to thank all of you for supporting freedom, for supporting racing in our area, and we just are so happy to be here. We're so honored to have you. We're so honored to have all of these drivers in attendance tonight. So thank you very much. And with that, gentlemen, start your engines!
Loretto Memorial here at Freedom. They are leaning on it big time up into turns 1 and 2. Drag race for the race lead for the outside. Going into turn number 3, Mike Knight will lead here at the end of lap number 1 as he goes charging down into turns 1 and 2. Kyle Bedell early in the number 2 spot. Chubbzilla is sitting in 3rd as they head down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Change in the lead off turn number 4. Slider from Kyle Bedell caught the leader napping, and Bedell will take a turn at the point now as they work their way down the backstretch and into turn number 3. So Kyle Bedell takes over the number 1 spot. Rest of the field still battling in little packets of 2 and 3. Fights on for the 2 spot. Chubb's coming after it. Trying to get by Knight for a second. Dylan Cece now. He's gotten tired of following. He's going to take the elevator upstairs going down the backstretch into turn number 3. Trying to get up into that number 5 position. Way to the outside off turn number 4. But Greg Oaks is quicker on the bottom. And he's dealing with Andy Bazell rolling in front of him there. So they are starting to pack up. But Jenko is getting in the mix there as well as he's only a couple of car lengths away. Now the door is open on the inside here for Greg Oaks coming off turn number 4, but he can't quite get by Bozel, who holds on to that 4th position as Bedell continues to maintain the race lead. Here comes Chubbzilla. Looking to the number 2 spot now, down to the inside of Mike Knight going into turns 1 and 2. Knight will hold him at bay off the top side as they work down the backstretch. Cece still having that throwdown back there for the 5th and 6th spots as they work off turn number 4. Frank again working the bottom lane here. A little bit tighter, a little bit sharper, but a little bit shorter distance. And he is drag racing for the number 2 spot now going into turn number 3. Knight comes roaring back on the outside. Retakes the number 2 spot as they cross the line. This happening a couple of seconds behind your race leader, Kyle Bedell, in that orange, blue, and white 7J as he comes off turn number 4, looking to put a lap on the number 34 machine as they head up through turns 1 and 2. Clean and green so far in the 2024 Pete Loretto Memorial. One car dropping down to the inside. Looks like that was the 34 machine that dropped down into the infield. Will stay under green. No lap cars between 1st and 2nd place for the moment. As they work back into turn number 3, Knight has dispensed a little bit of the challenge from Chubb Frank. Oaks is by himself in 4th as they roar down off turn number 4. Closing in on the halfway point of tonight's Pete Loretto Memorial here at Freedom Motorsports Park. Lap traffic may start to come into play for your race leader. He has caught the back of the field. That's where Garrett Mott is with the 43 of Bo Dhabi. Jason Dobson with the number 75 car. And that is going to allow second, third place to start drawing in, and they are coming and coming in hot. Bedell off turn number 4, 15 down, 15 to go, and the top three now all occupy the same chunk of real estate off turn number 2. Battle for the lead off turn number 2, change it up, and Bedell makes a mistake and gives the race lead back to Mike Knight in the 9K. He was trying to get around the traffic, went out too wide, out in turn number 4, and now finds himself in a battle for third with the Greg Oaks number 22 coming off the corner. Down into turn number 3, here comes Chubb. Chubb running in that number 2 spot now, and here comes Knight closing in on Bo Dhabi, looking for a way by him going into turns 1 and 2. They have left Bedell and Oaks to battle their way around Mott, with Dylan Cece picking up 1 spot. The running so far up into 5th, and Frank shows a wheel to the inside going into turn number 1. Chubb Frank trying to take the race lead as they come off 2 and head down the backstretch. Down into turn number 3, Knight stays on the hammer up on the outside. Chubb tries to squeeze to the inside of Bo Dhabi. Oh, that's going to cost him some track position. Chubb can't get by him, still can't get by him off turn number 2, and that allows Knight to rocket away. Meanwhile, Oaks now trying to take the measure on Bedell for the number 3 spot as they work down through 3 and 4, and the 3rd spot goes to Greg Oaks in the number 22, or excuse me, the 4th spot goes to Greg Oaks. And now he steps and Chubbzilla. Frank is out of there, baby, as he finally clears Bo Dhabi going into turns 3 and 4. But now he's got about half a straightaway to make up to try to catch up to the speedy Mike Knight number 9K machine. And we are closing in on 5 laps left to go here in the Pete Loretto Memorial. Heavy traffic for the race leader, who clears the 0 of Brian Scott as he works his way through turn number 2. Dorman side by side for position with one of the Eck machines. That might halt the leader's forward progress, and sideways at turn number 3. Douglas Eck with a killer save, and the yellow does not come out. We stay under green flag conditions. Good size lead right now for Knight as he goes into turn number 3. By good size, I mean he's got maybe half a straightaway right now on lap number 25, and the first caution flag of the race waves. We don't get it all the way to the end, but we get 25 of 30 laps complete before the first caution of the event flies. It's going to be a critical restart here coming off turn 4. We're down into the go zone. Knight hammered down, and we are underway with 4 to go. Chubb Frank trying to make the move there off turn number 2, but Knight rockets away by about a car length and a half going into turn number 3. Andy Boozle jumps to the inside of Kyle Bedell. He's going to slide in there and grab not just 1 but 2 spots, and we got him sliding everywhere in turn number 4. As Bedell's got some serious issues. Looks like he's cut a right rear tire on the 7J, and his Knight started off good, and it's going to end disastrous here as we come around for a lap. Bedell, is he going to make it to the pits? He's staying down on the inside thinking traffic's coming, and that's going to necessitate a yellow. We're cutting it even tighter now. So here we go, 2 to go to settle the Pete Loretto Memorial on a beautiful Friday night. And Mike Knight wants to make it even more beautiful by hitting the victory lane first. He'll lead him off turn number 2. Chubb went for the inside, couldn't get anything. Speaking of going for the inside, there's a move on Boozle by Hedman. He'll jump into the number 4 spot. White flag waves next time by. 2 laps left to go. back into turn number 2. Race lead, Knight by 2 car lengths going into turn number 3. Chubb Frank may not have anything for that speedy 9K machine as the final lap is under. Oh, and Knight brakes on the front stretch. Chubb makes contact. Chubb Frank upside down as the red flag waves. Oh my goodness, Mike Knight's car broke. Chubb was trying to stay off of him, got into him, got sideways, but Dell got a piece of that a little bit further back, but Chubb got tangled up, I think, with Knight and wound up going topsy-turvy, did a complete roll and landed back on his wheels. And ladies and gentlemen, I neglected to inform all of you that all of that chaos happened as they were coming. According to the officials, they were coming to the conclusion of the final lap and the checkered flag. So, give us a second here, and I'll have an unofficial top 5 for you, and we'll have our post-race ceremonies forthwith.
Yeah, but it should have been the checker, correct? Yeah, it was the checker.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have an official race. 30 laps were completed as they came across the line. 5th place went to Andy Bazell. 4th place to Bump Hedman. 3rd place to Greg Oakes. 2nd place by a whisker, Chubb Frank. And Mike Knight hangs on, even though the car quit coming off the final corner, and it's sitting up there in turn 1 right now. Mike Knight has won the Pete Loretto Memorial.
Somebody's probably told him by now that, yeah, that was officially lap 30 across the line, and even though the hood is on the back of the car, it's rolled. Come on over, Mike.
You should probably put the hood back.
So when you were sitting over there, when did they finally tell you that that was actually lap 30 and that you won?
I didn't know if Andy Boozle was yelling at me and telling me to come over. I was more concerned with Chubb, and I didn't know he flipped, and then Andy told me. A lot went on there in that couple minutes. Something, I don't know, blew up or something went haywire underneath the hood. So I guess it's just a blessing that it worked out like that. And, you know, I thought we had a car to win, so, you know, that's all right. And Pete was a really close friend of mine, too, at the track. He'd come over every time. Every little valley is what I really remember, is always he'd come over and talk to you, and just the kindest guy you'd ever want to know. So it's an honor to win this race. So.
All right. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to? Crew, sponsors?
All the guys on the car that helped me out. You know, 955 Automotive. I don't know what happened with the engine there, but GB Repair, Rocket Chassis, Penske Shocks, Autoways Auto Body. You know, the whole crew, all the guys that help out, they're all really good crew guys, and, you know, we changed every shock on the car tonight. I wasn't happy with it early, and we changed everything on the car, so it's a blessing to get this win. So.
All right, congratulations to you. We're going to try to get
$550. 897-521. 897-521. All right, Loretto.
How you doing, man? Hey, good. I'm recording, brother. Real good.
As well.
Thanks for coming out.
I don't see a full move, but it kind of felt like one popped out there on the last lap. But Mike Knight in situations like this, just so everybody understands what happened here, the official race count is checked on the timing and scoring computer upstairs. Mike Knight crossed and completed lap 30.